This video covers everything I did to Erica in the 2 days following the initial strip out. I'll give you fair warning that even by my standards this one's lacking in action and interest. But if you want to watch on, I'll tell you that the first thing I'm going to do is remove the driver's seat. I didn't record that bit. This is Erica without a driver's seat. It's just taken an inordinate amount of time to get that out because there's always at least one fixture point on each layer of the seat that's not accessible, so I've taken the very top off for now, although I have also removed a couple of bolts on the next layer down and loosened a couple on the next layer below that, trying to work out which was the easiest to try and get at. Might have to take more of the structure out yet, but for now I'm going to see if that is enough to be able to get this winch apart and out. Success! Undid the 4 nuts on those. That allowed us to lift the winch. A couple more bolts through there that allowed us to remove the arm through which the rope fed from the winch, and that is the winch out, which means that now hopefully we've got enough wiggle room, there we go, to be able to remove that tray. And there's another chunk of weight removed from Erica. This is not a picture of Erica. At this point I abandoned Erica for the rest of the day and turned my attention to Bertie the motorhome, who's probably feeling a little bit left out just now, and finished the task of fitting him with some USB sockets. This is the handle on Erica's sliding door, and you may be able to see it is pulled out there. There's obviously something gone awry, so I'm just going to see if I can take the panel off inside and see what the problem is. It seemed to me that I needed to remove the plastic surround to the inside door handle to access the mechanism for the exterior handle, which is what you see me doing here. I undid a couple of screws but found there were also 3 fiddly fasteners on the back. I eventually got the first of those undone, at which point I thought maybe a bit of googling of the problem would be wise. That saved me some frustrating effort, as it turns out that, and I confirmed, that even with the plastic fascia removed there's a further plastic assembly behind, and that one's pop riveted in place. This activity went on for quite some time, but you'll be pleased to hear that most of it wasn't recorded, because I needed my phone to take photos and videos of the inside of the door to see the bits that I couldn't view by shoving my head as far as possible into the door panel. They told me that the way of accessing the external handle was via a screw hidden under a cover on the side of the door. It didn't bode well. I found the cover already removed, suggesting somebody had already had a go at this before. I found the screw to have been cross-threaded and the head partially rounded off, at which point I decided that perhaps this was a job for somebody more familiar with Peugeot sliding door handles. I spent another half an hour or so fiddling around in the hope that I could maybe get the misplaced piece back into place. Incidentally, the handle does work fine, it just isn't seated right. I'm sitting crouched down by the driver's seat, and after a day of feeling like I've achieved very little, I've done something useful this evening. Just here, next to the driver's seat, we had a completely rusted up torque screw that I couldn't get out, but I have today taken delivery of a new set of torque sockets, which seem to be of good quality, and with the assistance of some plus gas and a bit of work to clean up the head so I could actually get the Torx driver into it, I've managed to get that screw out, and that has given us access to all this wiring ducting, which will be used to run the wires from the main battery, the vehicle battery, to the leisure battery. It also means that we can now remove this wire, which was the power supply to the winch, and if you can see there, the pink and white wires, they were for the winch controller, just there, pink and white. We already removed the winch controller, we just cut that wire at each end. That's everything that was achieved in those 2 days, but in the next episode we'll have the excitement of sticking tape on the floor, amongst many other things.